Now for the fifth wash with the V2 DIY Incredible Rinseless Wash. Another 700 miles has been completed and I'm ready to rock and roll. That's the last of the Rinseless V2 that I have in that larger one. I also had a small bottle, so I figured I'd use that for show too. So once again, I'm going to spray in, used a similar amount, just 2 milliliters in 1 liter of water and spray down. And of course, as per normal, everything looks good and I don't have any issue with that, of course. I have the sponge out because I think for this sponge is going to be appropriate. I have a gallon of Rinseless there. I have the 3 gallons in my sprayer as normal. Not going to give it forever because it's not exceptionally dirty. I did have a midweek wash, so I'm going to wash down as per normal with my newer setup, which gives me somewhere between 40 and 60 psi. And as you can see, it does wash off once again relatively easily, and that's exactly what you need. If you're needing gallons of liquid to wash things off, it means the product's not easy to wash off. Not as good a product as you think. As I don't have any links to any products or anything else, I'm not being paid for this, so this is my opinion. And in my opinion, even though it seems expensive, if you only use a small amount of product, it does prove to be fairly inexpensive. Does not mean that it's the cheapest or the most expensive. The soap tends to be. The Rinseless is technically not. Things like Nighthawk, where you only use 6 milliliters of product to do 3 gallons, makes a much bigger difference to me because it's only a few cents. The 16 ounces of theirs is more like a gallon of DIY, so when it's slightly cheaper, it makes a difference. Just washing off with the sponge. As you can see, showing with the sponge, everything is good to me. Once washed off, just going to go back and grab a towel. My free white towel just to knock off as much the excess liquid as possible. Not looking to dry with that, just knock off excess. And of course, if there's anything else that shouldn't be on there, will be knocked off with that. And then I will take the drying towel over it. Once I've taken that drying towel over, I will then move on to the next section, which is checking out the water beading. To be honest with you, nothing appears to have changed too much over time, but we will see on this one exactly how it's doing. We will zoom in just so you can have a good look, and we'll start with the DIY side. And to me, I think if you look, especially on the edges, but I think when you look, you can see that nothing is flooding the panel, which is what I would expect. 6 weeks on the car, 5 washes, I don't expect that to be a problem. Then going on to the Rhino, I can once again see just a very light amount of flooding. And I do mean light, you can just about see it, but once again, that might be characteristics of the product. Just look at those slight top and bottom edges, and you just see it flood very slightly. That's good, so let's just wipe it off, and we'll move on round to the other side. Okay, now I'm on the other side. I'm just going to spray down, same as the other. Most people think that using sprays is not effective. I think it is. There's plenty of foam on there. Do you need more? I don't think so. And once again, the dwell time's not going to be massive. It's only a minute or so on there. So if you take the whole of this, which is about 9 minutes, 10 minutes, times that by 3 because the whole thing is done at 3 speed, you suddenly realize that it doesn't take that long to wash the car. If you also calculate though that you have a setup time, especially if you're filming, which you appreciate anyone that has to film and then edit and anything else, depending on how fussy they are, and I'm too fussy. When you edit this and when you're doing it, it all takes a little bit more time. So for me, I've got about 10 minutes set up regardless. I don't normally count that in as part of a wash, but it is because it's setting up. I see something during the week, so that was just spray down and I come across with a sponge again. But I see someone during the week had a video out saying 1 hour wash. I think it was the Charleston wash guy, and he obviously couldn't have done it in an hour filming because filming always slows you down regardless. The video itself was a 20-minute video, and then I think when you take along to it, if you take into account your stop and start stuff, in general it's quite hard to do that. I could actually do wheels and tires by just spraying and rinsing, and that's it. And I think you could, if you wanted to, just be done within 1 hour and gone. But I'm not sure if you want that. Once again, same process, pre-wipe. Plenty of liquid in the pre-wipe microfiber, and then just dry off with the weapon of mass drying, the medium. It's a bit smaller. As I said before, these are not quite as good in terms of drying as the Diva that I had from DIY, but it's okay. It works perfectly well. That's why I do a pre-wipe, so I'm not over liquefying it. And then we got the same process on the pan side. We'll zoom up and have a look. And I think that pan side is exactly the same as DIY, but I don't really see it flooding, I just see it rejecting. To me, that's perfectly fine. That's probably how it's designed to be. Moving on to the Superior products once again, I don't believe it's got any worse. It's just exactly the same. Very slight flooding. Could be part of what it's supposed to do as it works. Can't be 100% sure of that, but it's not got worse. It's not got better. For me, I think it's been like that from about week 2. Week 1, I think it may not have shown that, but like all of them, I've stopped feeling how smooth they are because they just generally lose smoothness after a couple of weeks. Maybe DIYs has a bit more. Maybe in a couple of weeks I'll try it again and on wash 7, I think, or something like that, or maybe up to 10, but it tends to be lost. It's really like the newfangled thing, or you have it but it's gone. Really doesn't matter if it feels smooth. What really matters is if it rejects water. The only reason you have a coating is to help with displacement of liquid on the panel and dirt on the panel, and easy to clean. I think so far I'm showing that it's pretty much easy to clean. Well, after washing and drying everything looks good to me. Like and subscribe in the bottom. Thanks for watching. That's the version 2 of the DIY Incredible Rinseless Wash. The 5th wash is complete. Thanks. Goodbye.